first poem is from the book entitled Drug. And this particular book has a piece of artwork called Adam. It's from my friend George Hayes. He lives out in New Mexico. Transfer. Caution. Do not enter the ear canal. You may see things you don't want to hear. A spiral leading into your thoughts. A shortcut into the heart. A way back to the past you've never lived. Caution. Do not enter. High voltage. You may feel things you don't want to see. A sea of tiny fires, boys colliding like flies on civilians, Viet Cong. The swarm of legs, scalps circling through the canals, the ditches, the past you've never lived. In the summer of 1969, I was almost born. I can almost remember it, the whispers of children, the transfer of souls to soldiers, to an electric impulse. I like it. Whose ring is that? That's the transfer, right? There's the electric impulse right there. This next poem is in a book entitled Missing Yesterdays. And this piece of work is on the front cover is from Suzanne Galaska. She's an artist I've known for well over 20 years. And she works at ArtLink. It's a beautiful piece she did of a live model. It's in ink and watercolor. In the Art of the Dance, with lines by Federico Garcia Lorca in praise of Antonia Merci, La Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, in the art of the dance, the body struggles. There is no art in incarcerating a stumbling woman in 5-inch stadium heels. The defendant smelled greatly of alcohol, became verbally abusive to officers, didn't understand why she had to take a PBT. There is no dance brought back from the club. Just a swollen ankle, a dead cell phone, body struggle. There is no smoking allowed in the Allen County Jail. The dancer's trembling heart must bring everything into harmony. Harmony should be easy, Libra, yet there is no urinating relief. There is a cage, and there is a cell, and there is lockup. Shipwrecked in a field of air, she must measure lines, silences. In the Allen County Jail, field of vision is the choreographer of time. Silence is the red eye of a camera, a rapidity that spans every inch of her tights. She must fill a dead, gray space with a living, clear, trembling arabesque, one which can be vividly remembered. You should come down from there if you want to get processed. In the cage, filling a dead gray space is the trembling of legs that can't hold themselves up. The will to remember the clamp of handcuffs, the sound of ink rolling forward and back, the static cutting, the secret code of police, the leap to seclusion, the balance of a razor cutting across plastic, a bag that holds a watch, silver-colored ring, indecipherable Visa receipt, $12, 0 cents, keys. I'm going to read a few poems from this book called Love to Town. I did this piece On the front, it's called Booze. And this book was really something I had to write to get through a very difficult time for me. I was in a really abusive relationship, and I can't tell you, physical abuse is one thing, but when somebody gets you mentally and psychologically, that's much, much worse. And when they isolate you from your family and your friends and financially, that's much, much worse than getting your ankle broken or a tooth on loose or a black eye or scratches that your skin is torn off and you can't wear a shirt for 3 days. Our 20th night of drinking. On the night you went to her, you twisted my toe until it broke. I lied later, said I didn't remember how it happened. After all, we were tit for tat. Why add to word slinging, glass breaking, hair pulling, rabbit punching, and of course, the booze. I can't tell you how many times you pulled me to the ground. Once, your thumb stayed on my throat. You should have killed me. On this night you went to her, I awoke in our bed. It was that stupid caller box that gave me her number. Your toe isn't the issue, you said, as I looked at your Rolodex of who had called for me. I'd let it blink to make sure you could see all the calls, the why or who I had to prove, as you convinced, as you always do. During the course of this relationship, I had gotten away for a while, and I lived in my car with my dog for a couple of weeks. I had a broken ankle, and my ankle was in a cast, and I had some crutches, and I was actually very happy. I traveled across the country and went to my cousins in D.C., and so this is a poem that kind of talks about what my car was like. It's called The Apartment of My Car. In the apartment of my car, I kept your picture next to the speedometer, Christ over the idiot lights, my cousin on the side. From the lawn where you threw my belongings out for free, I arrived. I remember the 30-year-old jewelry box from Korea, the pendant of my great-grandmother from Ellis Island, the photographs of ancestors I cannot name. I slept in my car only hours from you kicking me to the street, hours from recovering ankle surgery, then hours more falling from a roof, and then hours later getting fired, then hours later sleeping on a shelter bed. My crutches and 15-year-old dog patient in the back seat of my apartment were hours from your eyes, dark without my broken sunglasses. Night, day, night, night. I felt the last fist on my face, the last look, dejected, the handcuffs double-locked, Your fake passing out on the broken futon and words you said to the cops. Whatever she said. No one who really knows you would share a foxhole with you. This war, so prevalent, so historically insignificant. Hangover. You swallow words and bet them back.